So in this session, I'm going to discuss AI application in sheet metal forming. So first of all, let me tell you my journey about how did I enter in this field. Actually, just after graduation, I joined one sheet metal industry, which was engaged in the manufacturing of fuel tank, of automotive, and many small components of automobile industries. So there, I joined a tool design department, and my job was to do the maintenance of not only press machines but also press tools. So there, I felt that this die design or press tool design is a highly experience based task, and there is a monopoly of experienced die designers in this domain. So whenever there was any problem in any type of die, then my senior, who was having more than 20 years of experience, so he just suggested me to this to do the grinding of this age, or then this die will run okay. But what was the logic behind that? He didn't disclose to me. Okay, and this is the problem in every hardcore industry, that seniors do not share their knowledge with their juniors, technical knowledge, experience-based knowledge. Okay, they give a solution of any type of problem, but why this solution is most appropriate, they will not disclose that reason behind that. Okay, so in that industry, I realized that I should do some work in this monopoly area of sheet metal die design. Then I started to learn some AI tools, and mainly knowledge-based system, or you can say expert system. Uh, then I applied this expert system approach in this press tool design, and then I registered for my PhD, and then I started my journey. So in this lecture, I'm going to discuss that how to develop a knowledge-based system or expert system for press tool design. So there are so many AI tools, but in this lecture, I will mainly focus on this knowledge-based system or expert system. So there are so many sheet metal components which are being used in our day-to-day life, in automobile, in your computer, in electrical appliances, in kitchen appliances. There are so many components. So to manufacture these components by conventional sheet metal forming process, we need a press tool, or it is also called die. So now die or press tool are broadly classified into two types. One is single operation dies, and another one is multi operation dies. Single operation dies, as its name indicates, that these dies are used to perform a single operation with each press stroke. Okay, like your punching die, blanking die, parting of die, notching, coining, embossing. There are so many types of single operation dies. And multi-operation dies, as its name indicates, that these dies perform two or more than two operations with each press stroke. So these are used for mass production. So these are of three types: progressive die, compound die, and combination die. Progressive die, as its name indicates, progressive means in this die we need to progress that sheet metal from one station to other station. So there are number of stamping stations in one progressive die, and number of operations are performed with each press stroke, and finally you get stamped part at the end of last means at the last station of progressive die. Another one is compound die. Compound die is mainly used to perform operations like manufacturing of washer. Okay, means in this punching and blanking, both operations are done at one station only. Okay, at one time that one press will act, that punch will act for punching, and lower bottom lower part will act as a die. In upward movement of the press stroke, your lower die will act as a punch, and upper punch will act as a die. So both blanking and piercing can be done simultaneously. Combination die are used for doing two operations. One is your shearing operation, and another one is your uh, forming operation. So both operations can be done, shearing and forming. So here in this figure you can see a typical two-station progressive die. Generally, progressive dies are having two or more than two stations. Generally, it may have more than three, four, five, or it may have 15 stations also. So at each station, some operation is done, and at the last station, you will get the finished part. So in this is one example of two-station progressive die. You can see there are a number of components which are to be assembled to make a die. So some components are active components. Its components can be divided into two types: active and passive. Active components are those which actively take part in stamping operation, like your die and punches, and this die block and stripper plate. These are active components of a die. And remaining are your structural components, also known as passive components, like your this punch plate, back plate, die support, uh, punch plate, punch backing plate, top plate, bottom plate, gauges, springs, feed stock. All these are your passive components. So a progressive die has large number of components, and to make a progressive die, all these components are to be assembled. Then this is an example of this typical compound die. Again, you can see there are large number of components: punch, die button, compound, knockout, stripper, lower die shoe, upper die shoe, knockout bar, spider, pins, baking plate, retainer, lock screw, die retainer. Okay, so there are so many components in a compound die. And this is a typical deep drawing die, which is mainly used to make cup shape articles, like your this cup cup or your fuel tank. So here we are having one punch, and at the bottom there is a die, drawing die. There is a difference in your shearing die and this deep drawing die. That in deep drawing die there is a corner radius at the punch as well as at the die. Okay, because here our objective is to not to cut the sheet metal, but to make a drawn cup forming. Okay, so again, this die has a number of components. So this is a bending die. Now, bending die may be a single operation die, or it may be a part of progressive die, progressive bending die. Sometimes we make one station of bending in the progressive die itself. Okay, so here purpose is to bend a sheet metal. Now, in a typical component, in a complex sheet metal component, there may be so many types of bends in one component. Okay, so the die designer has to decide that which bend should be bent first, what will be should be the proper sequence of bending. Okay, when this type of bend is to be formed on a progressive bending die. So, in traditional die design process, first of all, die designer has to do some manufacturability assessment. When an industry, sheet metal industry, receives some order of making one component in form of drawing, then that drawing is to be checked whether that part can be made on a sheet metal die or not. So all features are to be checked critically, like your hole. If there is a hole, then what is the diameter of hole? If there is any notch, then what is the size of notch? Okay, whether it is possible to make a very thin punch or not in a die. So there are so many checking is to be done at this stage, manufacturability assessment. And once that drawing has passed this stage, manufacturability assessment, then next step is process planning. Okay, the die designer has to make a process plan. Means he has to decide that for making that sheet metal part, which type of die will be required, what type of operations will be required. Then, if there is a progressive die, then he has to do the staging, strip layout. Okay, then he has to decide that what should be the press tonnage, how much will be the punch force, which type of material will be required for different components of a uh, material for different components of a die. Okay, so he has to make a lot of calculation in this at this stage. And then next is a strip layout. Okay, once it has been once it is decided that these will be the operations, then this type of die will be required. Then die designer has to design the strip layout, because the objective is to minimize the scrap and maximize the strip utilization. And that can be done only when proper, or you can say optimal, strip layout design is done by an experienced die designer. Then after completion of this stage, then die designer has to design different components, mainly active components. Some components are to be designed and some components are to be procured from the market, because some components are standard, like your punch plate, backup plate, die sets. Okay, so these components can be directly selected, and some components, that is a die and punch, that is to be designed, stripper, that is to be designed. Then the last stage is modeling of die components and die assembly. After design or selection of die components, the die designer has to prepare the drawing of each component, and then complete die assembly. And then that drawing is to be given to the manufacturing department, where that die is to be manufactured by using non-traditional machining processes. Mainly non-traditional machining processes are used in manufacturing of a die, mainly your EDM, ECM, wire EDM. Okay, so then actual manufacturing of a die starts. Now, what is the problem? The problem is that you can see that every stage highly experienced die designers are required. If there will be any mistake at this first stage, manufacturability assessment, and then all the stages are completed, then at the end it may be possible that that die will not be able to manufacture a particular component accurately. Okay, similarly, process planning, highly experienced people are required, strip layout design for design of die components. Okay, and for molding, although some AutoCAD tools are available, but this is the last stage, and this last stage depends on the previous stages. If there will be any error in any stage, then obviously drawing will not be accurate, and then manufacturing of that die will be done. And thereafter, while manufacturing department will do the trial runs, then only they come to know that there is some mistake at in the previous stages. Okay, and at that stage, it has become a costly affair to do any rectification in the manufactured die. Okay, so generally in industries it is said that die design is a trial and error method, or you can say it is an art rather than science. Okay, why it is called art? Because highly experienced people are required, and these domain experts do the design as per their experience. And if two designers are involved in design a die, then they will design same die in different way. Okay, there may be variation in the dimensions, variation in the clearance. Okay, and only while taking the trial runs, manufacturing department can know that there is that die is accurate or not. Okay, so it is highly experience intensive activity. So what are the problems of sheet metal industries? That the traditional process of die design is complex, time consuming and tedious, and it requires highly experienced die designers and process planners. Then the problem is further compounded by following factors: that there is a lack of supply of skillful die designers worldwide, because this domain in this domain very few graduates are interested to enter. Why? Because there is a slow career growth, and there is a lot of efforts to become experienced in this domain. Okay, that's why there is always a shortage of skillful die designers. Very short life cycles of stamping products, because nowadays you know that customers have become very choosy. Every day they want new and new models. Okay, that's why the life of stamping products have become very short. And whenever the design of a stamping product changes, it means a new die has to be designed and manufactured, because all these dies are uh, highly specific for specific parts. Okay, if design of part changes, it means the new die has to be designed and manufactured. And mobility of experienced die designer in stamping industry. This is another problem for sheet metal industries, because there is a monopoly of experienced people in this domain. Therefore, for getting more and more salary and for their career growth, they used to change their jobs from one industry to other. Okay, so whenever experienced designer leaves one company, then he creates a vacuum in that company. Why? Because they do not prefer to share their technical and experience-based knowledge with their juniors. Okay, so this is the major problem in sheet metal industry. No sharing of practical knowledge by experts with their juniors. Now, stamping industry requires to adopt new technology-based techniques to design press tools or dies for satisfying the demand of wide variety of stamping products. They are that tool design department of sheet metal industries always remain in continuous pressure to design new and new type of dies, because that design of sheet metal parts, if changes, then obviously new die has to be designed. Okay, that's why stamping industry requires new technology based technique, new type of automation, so that this exercise of designing a press tool can also be automated. So to another challenge is that to reduce the time taken between the design concept of sheet metal part to the design of press tool. Because once that concept of sheet metal part starts, then its design is prepared, then that design is given to the tool design department of a sheet metal industry, then they start their die design process. So this is also one challenge, that how to reduce the this time taken in uh, in this complete process, means from concept of sheet metal part to the design of press tool. And to retain its highly experienced die designer and tool maker. This is another big challenge for a sheet metal industry, that they have to retain their experienced die designers. Therefore, there is an urgent need to conserve the disappearing skill and knowledge of experienced die designers and build this into intelligent computer-aided die design system. Okay, so now because there is a shortage of experienced die designers, and there is a mobility of experienced die designers, and industries are facing problem to retain its highly experienced die designers. Therefore, this task should be automated by using some uh, intelligent system, by using some tool of artificial intelligence. So recent advances in the field of artificial intelligence have given rise to the possibility of developing intelligent CAD system based on knowledge-based system or expert system approach for quick design of press tool. Okay, the objective is to minimize the time taken in the design of a press tool and without the assistance of highly experienced die designer. Okay, and this task can be done by uh, using this KBS knowledge-based system or expert system approach of a artificial intelligence. So, what is artificial intelligence? The meaning of artificial intelligence is to make the computer intelligent enough so that it can do the tasks which are normally done by a human expert. Okay, so this making the computer intelligent, this can be done by making a program, computer program, or by using some other tools of AI. So this term was first coined in 1956 in one conference at Dartmouth, Hampshire, by this John McCarthy. So he is known as the father of this artificial intelligence, who started this artificial intelligence. So AI is the science of making computers do things that require intelligence when done by humans. Means if there is any task which requires some type of intelligence, and that task is generally done by a human being, then how to perform that task by using computer. Okay, and that is the objective of artificial intelligence. AI is the study of ideas that enables computer to be intelligent, means to make the computer intelligent to do the tasks which are generally performed by experienced human. So another definition is that AI is the discipline of computer science that aims at building systems showing some intelligence in their operation or behavior, also investigate the way human perform tasks that require intelligence. Now everywhere we are using artificial intelligence nowadays. It has become one of the thrust area. It has become one of the thrust area. Uh, in our new education policy, which was launched yesterday by our Honorable Prime Minister, he has also stressed on this artificial intelligence. He also informed that many universities have already started undergraduate and postgraduate program in artificial intelligence because it has large scope in the future. Our in not in our day-to-day life, but in our defense sector also, we need weapons which are highly intelligent, which can take decision themselves. And you can take simple example of your washing machine. Okay, that is also uses artificial intelligence. Okay. Uh, so what is so I'm skipping this, and now you can see from this figure that about 22% artificial intelligent systems are based on your object oriented technique, and maximum contribution is 37%, that is rule based system. There are so many tools of artificial intelligence. Here I will focus on this rule-based system. Okay, so at present, about 37% intelligence system are based on this rule-based system. In this, we use production rules. Production rules are of if-then variety. If, then. If is the condition part and then is the conclusion part. Means suppose you need to make a system for intelligence system for prediction of weather, then there should be thousands of rules which describe the if condition, that if the wind speed will be this one, if humidity level will be this one, if temperature will be this one, then there is a probability of raining about 80 or 85%. Okay, so you need to prepare, you need to frame such thousands of such type of rules, then you need to code these rules, then you need to program, you need to do the testing of this type of system. Okay, so such systems can be used where there is a need of highly experienced human being. Okay, and problem is also narrow domain problem. In that case, we can make a rule-based intelligent system. So what is a knowledge-based system or expert system? It is an intelligent computer program that uses knowledge and inference procedure. It uses knowledge and inference procedure to solve problems that are difficult enough to require significant human expertise for their solution. Okay, so the condition is that your problem should be difficult enough, and that to solve that problem, significant human expertise is required. Okay, to solve such type of problem and to reduce the dependency on the human experts, we need to develop a knowledge based system. Okay, it uses knowledge and inference procedure to solve this type of problem. So we'll discuss the structure of a knowledge based system in detail in subsequent slide. Another definition is that a computer system which emulates the human decision making ability of a human expert. So how human experts take the decision, what is the logic behind that decision? Okay, that is to be extracted and that is to be coded in form of a computer program. So it is a computer program that represents and reasons with knowledge of some specialist subject with a view to solve problem or giving advice. So these are the various definitions of a knowledge-based system or expert system. So what can be done using knowledge-based system? There is a wide applications of a knowledge-based system or expert system. In earlier days, this system was used for diagnosing to diagnose the medical problems, health issues. Okay, so this type of system was first used in USA, that is Mycin and E-Mycin. Okay, that was the trade name of that system that was developed in USA to advise to give advice to the patient related to health. Okay, but as this system was directly involved with the health of human being, therefore this system was not successful. And then this type of system was developed in engineering domain for diagnosing equipment failure, for condition monitoring of equipments, for interpretation of chemical composition of a chemical compound, for making financial decision. Nowadays in share market, in stock market, there is a algo based trading. Okay, systems have been developed which uses algorithm based trading. Okay, means that all the strategies for intraday, for swing trading, and for your investment, that has been coded in form of computer program. Okay, and then this system, knowledge based system, is used to make decision that when is to invest and which stock, when that investor has to exit. Okay, so all financial decisions are to be taken by the system itself. Then to interpret signals In electronic domain, also the for interpretation of signals in defense sector, for interpretation of signals, this knowledge systems are being used. To predict location of mineral deposits in metallurgy domain, also to detect the exact location of that minerals without doing the actual digging, that can be done by a knowledge based system. And to give advice about computer system use, to how to use the computer system itself, that can be also be done by uh, developing a knowledge based system. So there are so many applications of knowledge based system. So this is the structure of a knowledge based system. Here we need uh, here in this figure only one domain expert has been shown, but a large number of domain experts are required to make a knowledge based system. Okay, there is a 100 or more than 100 domain experts are required. Then this knowledge engineer has to extract knowledge from domain experts in form of if then rules. Okay, that then knowledge base is to be created by using some coding. Okay, of that rules, that rules are to be coded by using some uh, programming language. Then the user interface is to be created. The purpose of user interface is twofold. One is to take required input from the user, and then give proper advice to the user. Okay. Then inference engine. This inference engine is nothing but a search engine. Okay. This search engine will search that knowledge base based on the inputs entered by the system, and then uh, and after searching, proper action is taken to give. Now this action may be to give advice to the user or to take some type of action. Okay, so in this we need highly experienced people, a team of experienced people. Then knowledge engineer has to extract knowledge from that team of experts. Then he has to frame production rules based on the extraction of knowledge, and then he has to do the coding of that rules by using some programming language. Then he has to construct one search engine, and then he has to prepare the user interface. Okay, then a lot of testing is also required before using that system in actual practice. So this is the procedure for development of knowledge-based system. That knowledge is to be acquired from domain experts. Then that knowledge is to be structured in form of production rules. Production rules are to be formed. That is, if then rules. If then rules are to be formed. Then verification of rules from domain experts. Again, these rules are to be checked by domain experts. Then these rules are to be properly sequenced. Okay, that depends on the final application of that system. That what should be the proper sequencing of these production rules. Then identification of suitable software and programming language for coding of that system. What is the suitable language that is based on the uh, final application of that system. If the system has to generate some drawings, or the system has to be used in some design domain, then obviously some CAD software is required, and some related language is required, like Autolisp or Lisp. Okay, or maybe C++. Okay, so that depends on the final application of that system. Then construction of knowledge base is to be constructed by code through the coding of these rules. um, then choice of search strategy, that is for making the search engine or inference engine, that what will be the proper search strategy. Okay, that is to be decided. And then preparation of user interface. Okay, now this search strategy may be of two types. One is forward strategy, and another one is backward strategy. Okay, that again depends on the uh, final application. That if you are having two or more than uh, two conditions in rules and only one conclusion. Okay, one or two conclusion. Then we prefer to use forward chaining. And if there are many, then conclusion and one or two conditions, then we prefer to use backward chaining. Then last one is preparation of user interface. User interface is an important part of knowledge based system that it serves two purposes. One is to take input from the user, another one is to give advice to the user. Now, here at SVNIT, my research team, my PhD students has developed all these knowledge-based system or expert system for design of blanking die, progressive die, deep drawing die, compound die, and bending die. Okay, my PhD work was totally based on the design of intelligent system for automation of progressive die. And this deep drawing die, this design was completed by my one PhD student, Dr. Deepak Panghal, who delivered one lecture in this FDP on Industry 4.0. So he developed one knowledge-based system for automation of deep drawing die. Then compound die and bending die, these are also no, sorry. This deep drawing die was automated by my another student, that is Dr. Vishal Naranje, and bending die, this was automated by my student Dr. Deepak Pangal. Okay, and then compound die, this was automated by my one PhD student, Dr. Sachin Kashi. Then to accomplish all these tasks, we have executed a number of research projects. One project was granted by this DST, another project was granted by SERB, and one international project also, that is from King Saud University, Saudi Arabia. That was very big project of 3 crore rupees. So now we have developed automatic system for all these types of dies. Okay, now as a case study, because this is the recent one, that is design of bending die. So I'm going to discuss this knowledge-based system for design of bending die in detail. So this is the bending die which is used to bend the sheet metal part. Here a very simple part has been shown, but in a sheet metal part there may be several bends. Okay, and these bends are maybe in different planes. So to design to manufacture a complex sheet metal bending part, sometimes progressive bending die is required. The die designer has to take the decision of that how many stations will be required, then what which band will be bent first, what will be the proper sequencing of bending. Okay, so a lot of decisions are to be taken by die designer. So this is the framework of knowledge-based system for bending die. Actually, for development of a knowledge-based system, first of all, a knowledge engineer has to uh, break the complete task in number of subtasks. Okay, these subtasks are also known as modules. Okay, number of modules are to be decided. Okay, so in this bending die or in every type of die, first of all, there is a need of this feature extraction of bending parts. Okay, because this system is fully automated, therefore, this system takes only one 3D drawing of a sheet metal part. 3D or some systems may also require 2D drawing of a sheet metal part. Okay, then when the user enters a drawing of a sheet metal part, then system will automatically extract all the design features of that bending part. Okay, so and now this design feature, the data related to these design features is stored in a data file. Okay, the system will generate data files automatically. Then Next step is, user has to enter its input in form of drawing of sheet metal part at first step only. Then the next stage, that is manufacturability assessment of bending parts. This module will take all inputs from the previous module, means that is the data file which are generated by the previous module. Okay, then it will check all the design features of sheet metal part, whether that features can be produced in by using a sheet metal die or not. All these decisions are to be taken by that knowledge base system module. Then again, all the output of these modules are stored in different data file. Okay, so at every stage, data files are generated. Then next step is process planning. For process planning, again there are a number of modules. There are in this system there are 5 modules. Module for band alliance, because you know that in bending there is a problem of that spring back. Okay, spring back, and therefore some band alliance is to be taken, and this decision is taken by this intelligent module of this expert system. Then module for blank size, what should be the blank size for that particular component, that is to be decided by this module. Then module for spring back calculation is done by this module. Then band sequence is to be determined. This is again done by this module. And then module for calculation of bending force. Okay, so all these means the different task of process planning is done by different modules, and their output is stored in different data files. Then next is selection or design of die components. Now there are number of components in a die. Therefore, for major components, that different modules are made. For die block, for selection or design of die block, one module has been constructed for selection of the design or selection of punches, then selection or design of stripper plate, pressure plate, then selection of punch plate and back plate, then selection of die set, then selection of fasteners. Okay, so different modules are constructed for to perform different activities of this design or selection of die components, and the output of all these modules are stored in different data files. And then finally there is a automatic modeling of die components and die assembly. Okay, the user will get the output in form of drawings, 2D and 3D drawings of die components as well as die assembly. And this module will do all the modeling activities automatically. It will take its input from the previous data files. Okay, it will not ask any input from the user. And then you can see that all these modules are connected to the user through user interface. Okay, user interface is required to get the input from the user and to give output to the user. So based on this framework, we have developed this system that is named as ASDBD, that is automatic system for design of bending die. Now this system is structured into 5 sections, namely feature extraction of bending part, then manufacturability assessment of bending parts, then process planning of bending parts, selection of die components, and automatic modeling of bending die. So the complete task of construction of a knowledge-based system for automating the design of bending die has been divided into 5 subtasks, 5 sections. So the first system, that is for automatic feature extraction of bending part, it takes input in form of 3D CAD file of bending part. Okay, the user has to enter the 3D CAD file of a bending part. Then the system extracts all design features of bending parts. Design features like number of bends, bend angle, bend width, bend internal radius, bend external radius, bend direction, sheet thickness. So details of design features extracted by the system are stored automatically in a data file for its further use in subsequent modules. Okay, so whatever features are extracted by the system, these are stored in some data file. Okay, so that all these data can be taken by further modules automatically. Okay, so the user is required to enter the input in form of only 3D CAD file of that particular part for that sheet, that bending die is to be designed. Then for manufacturability assessment, this system is constructed, that is KBS MCB, manufacturability assessment for bending, manufacturability check for bending parts. The system is capable to check design features of parts, design features including bend radius, bend severity, hole or slot distance from bend axis. Okay, so all notch, if there is any notch, then what is the size of notch? Okay, so all these features are to be checked by this system, whether these features can be possible by designing a die or not. And if it is not as per the rules, then the system will advise the user to change a particular feature. For example, if the radius of a diameter of a hole is very small, it may be 0.01 mm. Okay, so it is not possible to make a punch in conventional sheet metal forming to do the punching of such small hole. Okay, so what is the minimum possible diameter of hole as per the rules in the knowledge base? And that system will advise the user that this should be the minimum diameter of that hole. Otherwise, it is not possible to design a die for that part. Okay, so such type of advices are maybe given by the system to the user. Otherwise, all the outputs are stored again in a data file. Then next is process planning. Okay, for process planning, the system is constructed PPBB, that is process planning for bending parts. This system determines process planning parameters such as spring back allowance, spring back angle, blank size, bend sequence, bending force. And for each activity, there are different modules. So these are the 5 modules which are in this system, process planning of bending part. Then next is selection or design of bending die components. Okay, so this system has total 6 modules. Okay, for design or selection of die block, this first system is used. For stripper plate and pressure plate, this system is used. For designing of punches, this module is constructed. Then for plate element, this module. For die set, there is another module. And for determining the size of fasteners, dowels, nut bolts, okay, again there is a separate module. And then final activity is to do the modeling of every component and lower die assembly and bottom die assembly. Okay, this task is automated by construction of this system. This system has total, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 modules. Okay, for die block modeling, there is a separate module. For stripper plate and punch plate, pressure plate, separate module. For punch modeling, there is another module. For plate elements, for back plate, for die set, for die bottom assembly, for die top assembly, there are different modules. And all these modules take the input from the respective data file. Okay, for example, this module will take the data from this module. Okay, so the user is not required to enter any type of data except this 3D CAD file. Now we have validated this system in a number of industries. Here I am showing that these are the 4 places where we have validated this system by taking their real sheet metal part and to design a die for that sheet metal part, and then we have finally given our drawings of different die components and die assembly to these industries for manufacturing. Okay, so here I am demonstrating two, three components for which die has been designed by using this knowledge-based system. This is one component. You can see there are number of bands in this component. Number of bands. You can see one band, two, three, four. Okay, here this is also one band, five, six. And these are different bands. Number of bands in different planes. This is another component. Cool. Actually, we took a lot of help from our tool room training centers. You know that in India, in India, our government has established a number of tool training centers with the help of, in collaboration with the Danish government and German government. Okay, like here in Ahmedabad also there is one tool room training center. Sorry. At Ahmedabad, there is one tool room training center. At Aurangabad, there is one tool room training center. At Wajirpur, Delhi, there is one tool room training center, TRTC tool room training center. Okay, so we took help from all these tool room training center because there are number of domain experts in these tool room training centers who are experienced die designers. Okay, so to construct such type of knowledge-based system, we need a number of domain experts. So this component was taken from here. Nowadays, that tool room training center at Wajirpur, that has renamed as Delhi Institute of Tool Engineering. Earlier days, it was offering that 3 or 4 years diploma course, 4 years diploma courses in die design. But nowadays, these have become engineering institute, and they are offering now undergraduate and postgraduate programs. Now this is another component which was taken from one industry, agro kosher agro industries, and this component has been taken from Delight High Tech Furniture Private Limited, Delhi. You can see there are number of bands in this component. So I will demonstrate each module one by one for one particular component. Okay, this is the execution of first system, that is bending feature extraction system. This system takes input from the user in form 3D CAD part file, and then all the design features are extracted by the system. Then all feature attributes are extracted, and then these design features and attributes are displayed for the user, and then these are stored in a data file, that is fe.dat. This data file is required for execution of subsequent modules. So this is the component for which I am going to demonstrate the system for you. So this system, first system, that is feature extraction system, extracts all these design features from this 3D CAD file of this part. Okay, you can see that what is the inner radius, outer radius, band angle, band weight, thickness, band direction. Okay, this is the sheet thickness. Okay, 2 millimeter. So for all these bands, all the data is extracted by this system. So I will show you the complete system, video of the complete system. Then manufacturability assessment of bending part. This is the second subsystem of this complete system. So here we have coded a number of production rules, and this is just one sample of production rule, that if this is the part material is steel annealed, band radius lies between is less than or equal to 2 times of sheet thickness, angle between band axis and grain direction lies between 0 to 45 degree, and band angle lies between 0 to 135 degree, then system will accept the band radius, that band radius is okay. Okay, if these are the conditions, if band radius lies between 135 degree to 180 degree, then system will advise the user that set the band radius at least 2 times of sheet thickness. Okay, or set the band angle. So number of options are given to the user that it is difficult to design this die for this type of part. Therefore, you need to redesign your sheet metal part. Okay, so number of production rules are coded in the system. Then this is the execution of this knowledge base system for manufacturability check. One by one, the system will check all the design features, and if any feature is not as per the its knowledge coded in the knowledge base, then system will give advice to the user to change that particular design feature. Okay, for this component, you can see that sheet material, there is a database file of sheet material. So from the drop down menu, that user has to select the material of the sheet. It is to be entered by the user from the drop down menu, because a number of materials are included in that data file, and the properties of all the properties of that every material has been included in that data file. So once that this feature is extracted, that minimum band radius is 2 millimeter, then system will display that its band radius is okay. Okay. Similarly, all the design features are checked one by one by the system, and it either it will accept or it will give advice to the user. The next is process planning of bending parts. So there are 5 modules in this system. One is for determination of spring back alliance. Okay, that input is taken from the part.dat file. Then feature extraction data file input is taken from this data file also. Then spring back is calculated automatically by the system, and then that spring back is stored, value of spring back is stored in this data file. Then this is the module execution of module for band alliance. Okay, here again you can see that feature data is taken from this previous data file fe.dat. Then some values of constants are to be taken from the database file by the search engine. Okay, then it will calculate the band alliance. Okay, then it will display the band alliance to the user, and then this output is stored in one data file. This is the execution of blank size for module for blank size. Again, you can see the inputs are taken from the previous data file, and then it will determine the blank size automatically, and then it will display 2D and 3D drawing of part blank for the user, and this drawing is stored in a this data file. Okay, then module for banding sequence. Okay, so this module has to determine the base plane. Which one is the base plane, major plane of that part. Okay, then it will categorize the bands as per the rules. Then it will group the bands, because some bands can be bended in at one stage only. Okay, so that grouping of band is required, and that is to be done by this module. Then it will prioritize the groups, that which band should be bent first. Okay, so again it will do this through the knowledge base. Then it will display the bending sequence, and then bending sequence is stored in one data file. This is the execution of identification of base plane. I'm not discussing in detail. Then categorization of band is to be categorized based on number of criteria, that is parallel to feed direction, perpendicular to feed direction, inclined to feed direction. Okay, then bands are to be grouped. Okay, so number of rules are framed on the basis of which bands are grouped. Okay, for example, rule 1 is that bands whose band axis is coplanar and having the same direction can be grouped in the same group. Okay, so here you can see band B1 and B2. These are coplanar and having the same direction of bending, either up. Okay, so here up direction. Okay, so these bands can be grouped. Okay, then next rule. So there are number of rules for grouping of bands. Then rules for prioritizing groups. Okay, we have given significance factor for each rule. Okay, now this has been done with the consultation of die designers, and it has been tested also. Then module for determining bending force. Okay, bending force is calculated automatically by the system, and it takes its input from the previous data files. Then execution of complete process planning system. You can see that all the modules are executed one by one, and gives its output in form of data file. Okay, so nowhere the input is required from the user. Okay, user input is required only to only to enter the 3D CAD file and to enter the sheet material. Then every module is executed one by one. So for this part, you can see once material has been entered, then sheet thickness that will be taken automatically. Then all these are determined. What is the bend radius, bend angle, what is the spring back angle for each bend. Then bend alliance is determined for each bend. Okay, bend angle, bend alliance is determined automatically by the system. Then this is the blank drawing for that particular part. Okay. Then determining the major plane. Here, this is the major plane for this component. Okay. Then select the feed direction as per the selecting edge of band. Then user has to select the band feed direction. Means in which direction that feeding of that sheet will be done. Okay. So accordingly, the system will decide that. Direction of band, this band direction down or up, band angle, band level. Okay, and these values are also given to the user. If user wishes, then he can change the value of these significant factors. Okay, then the system will do the grouping. Okay, that in group 1 band 5, band 4 and band 3 will be band. In group 2 band 1 and band 2. Okay, band level, then group type, minimum band angle. Okay, so everything is displayed to the user. Okay, so for this particular component, you can see that how to calculate this bending force uh, and which type of bending die is required, U die, wiping die, which type of die is required, that is also be decided by the module. Then band width is decided, bending force is calculated automatically by the system. Okay, so here I am showing you that how this process is done by the system. So can you see this video?
Yes, sir.
So here there is no audio in this demonstration of this module. You can see that how this process planning for this particular component is done by the system. So no expertise is required to run this system. Only even a fresh engineer or a diploma holder can also do the complete die design by using this system. He has to execute, he has to run each module one by one, and all modules are integrated with each other. And you can see that drawings of that 2D drawing of that component is generated. Now bending, grouping of bands is performed. Bending force, bending sequence is to be determined. So as per the knowledge coded in the knowledge base, it will decide that which is the major plane, what is the proper grouping of bands, what will be the proper sequencing of bands. So mother plane means base plane, major plane. So this major plane is selected, then input direction is to be entered in direction. Just by clicking through the mouse, input direction can be entered. Then grouping is done. Then band sequence is determined, that these bands will be band first. So complete process planning is done by this module. The next task is to design or select bending die components, and for this we have developed a number of modules, 6 modules for designing different major components. So this is the complete execution of this system for design or selection of bending components. You can see that the system will take input from the part data file. Then this first module will run, that is the BD block, that is bending die block, selection of die block. Here we have written this only selection, but it is also design. In some active component there is a design, but some standard component there is a only selection, that what should be the proper size, proper dimensions of that particular component. So it will take input from this FE.dat and then give output in form of all the dimensions, all the data in this data file. Then next module is for selection of stripper and pressure plate. So it will take input from part.file as well as this dbd block.dat file. Okay, then its output will be stored in this data file. Okay, the next module is design or selection of punches. Then it will execute, then it will store its output in form of data file. So all the modules will store output in some data file which will be required for the modeling system. Okay, then selection of die set and then selection of fasteners. Okay, so for this component I will show you how this system will work. Okay, so this is the output of module BD block for die block for stage 1. There are 2 stages for this component sheet metal part. In one stage 3 bands will be bended, then next stage 2 bands will be bended. So for stage 1, you can see the system will give advice that die block length should be 292 millimeter, width of die block should be 94 millimeter, thickness of die block should be 29 millimeter. Then these are the advice generated by the system for second stage. This is for pressure plate, that is the length, width, thickness of pressure plate, and select the stripper bolt quantity 4, spring quantity 4. Okay, so every required dimension is displayed for the user, and all these the outputs are stored in some data file. This is for punch, that wiping punch is required for this stage 1, and length of punch should be this one, punch width, punch thickness, punch radius. Then for second stage, then punch plate. Okay, so all these outputs are generated automatically by the system and stored in some data file. For this fasteners in die, we need mainly 2 types of fasteners. One is Allen bolt, another one is dowels. Okay, so for this particular stage 1, system advises the user that select 4 numbers of Allen bolt of size M10 and 4 number of dowels of diameter 8 millimeter. So these Allen bolts and dowels are already are available in the market. Therefore, only the size is to be given by the system. Okay, then I will show you this video for execution of this subsystem for selection or design of die components. So you can see advices are being generated by the system for this particular component. And for different bands, different stages, different punches will be required. So what should be the proper dimension of these punches? All these are advised by the system. So you can see that user has to select one component one by one from this software, and then that particular module will be executed, but that proper sequence should be followed. Okay, so as per the sequence given in this drop down menu of this software, that user has to follow. So even a novice engineer can also do this die design task by using this software. And last activity is that automatic modeling of bending die. For this, again, there are number of modules which will do the modeling of that particular component one by one, and finally die bottom assembly and die top assembly. Okay, and this is the complete execution of the system. You can see that each module takes the input from the particular data file, and then display the 2D and 3D drawings of that particular component, and these drawings are stored in one drawing file. And then all these drawings are required in the modeling of bottom die assembly and top die assembly. Okay, so for this is the output of module DB mode 3D drawing of die block. This is 2D drawing of die block. So all these are generated by automatically generated by the system. A 2D drawing of every component for every stage. All these components with proper dimensions. Okay, these are generated. Okay, you can see 2D drawing of punch for stage 1, 3D drawing of punch. Okay, this is for 2D drawing of punch plate for stage 1, 3D drawing of punch plate for stage 2, and 3D drawing of punch plate. All these drawings are generated one by one. And finally, you can see this is the 3D drawing of top die assembly. Okay, this is also generated automatically by the system. And this is the 2D drawing of top die assembly, then 3D drawing of bottom die assembly, and then 2D drawing of bottom die assembly. Okay, so all these drawings are generated by this knowledge-based system automatically, and these drawings can be used further for starting the manufacturing of die by using some non-traditional machining technique. So for this particular component, you can see that how the system works. So one by one, just by clicking on that particular tab, the drawing will be generated. You can see 2D drawing are also generated. Then finally, bottom die assembly and top die assembly drawings are generated. So we have developed this type of system for automatic design of blanking die, progressive die, deep drawing die, compound die, and bending die. Now I'm concluding my lecture that is no doubt that the knowledge-based system or expert system is one of the powerful and most widely used technique of artificial intelligence. It is capable to solve problems which are complex, time-consuming, and highly experience intensive. Okay, so because a lot of efforts are required in the development of expert system, you need a number of domain experts to extract their knowledge. Then you have to frame production rules. Then you have to code that knowledge in form of some knowledge base. Okay, then you have to construct a search engine. You have to construct a user interface. So a lot of efforts are required. So this type of technique of AI can be used only when the problem is complex enough, problem is time consuming, and problem requires highly experienced people to execute. Okay, like your press tool or die design. Okay, we need highly experienced people, and it is time consuming also to design a particular die. At least 3 to 5 weeks are required. Okay, and still it is not, you can say, optimal design. Uh, that's why it is sometimes it is called as an art rather than science. And only after that trial run, that die designer can confirm that his design is accurate. Okay, so to solve such type of problems, this expert system or knowledge system is a suitable tool. So we have already made efforts to develop integrated KBS system for intelligent automatic design of blanking die, progressive die, deep drawing die, compound die, and bending die. The system is capable to execute the tedious task of die design in less than an hour. Okay, within 60 minutes, a fresh engineer can design a complete die. Okay, without the help of experienced die designer. It is integrated in nature and uses parametric design approach. Okay, all modules are integrated with each other. Output of one module may be the input, can be the input of a subsequent module. Okay, so all modules are integrated in nature, and it also uses parametric design approach. Parametric design approach means when the design of sheet metal part changes, the design of complete die will change. Okay, so it uses parametric design approach. Even a fresh die designer can perform the tedious task of die design easily using the proposed system. Therefore, it eliminates the dependency on experienced designer. It can handle all types of sheet metal parts manufactured on different dies. Now, what can be the scope for future research in this domain? That an optimization model can also be developed for optimization of process parameter of bending process. Not only bending process, but all types of dies. Some optimization optimization model can also be developed and can be integrated with this system. An integrated sim environment can be created through the development of a post-process program which utilizes the outputs of proposed KPS for die manufacturing. Means whatever the outputs of this system that can be that can be the input to one manufacturing computer integrated manufacturing system to generate some automatically G code. Okay, and that can be used directly for manufacturing of a die. The KBS approach can also be used for automation of design of combination die and transfer die. These are remaining in case of combination die. My one friend who is working at the earlier he was working at the King Saud University. Now he is at Helwan University, Cairo, Egypt. So he has already started work in this direction for design of combination die. So these are the suggestions for future research, and for further reading you can refer our papers, and we have also published one book, that is AI application in sheet metal forming. Okay, so all chapters of this book has been contributed by my own students and myself. Okay, and so you can refer this book, and number of papers have been published in reputed SCI journals like your advances in material processing technology, and then uh, expert system with applications, computer application in technology, Journal of Intelligence System, American Journal of Intelligence System. So you can refer all these papers if you wish to work further in this domain. So